Varec Station, a massive interstellar marketplace where aliens are traded, trained, or contracted for work. Humans usually avoid the darker levels of the station. But Ethan Hale, a simple cargo mechanic, takes a wrong turn. He enters Auction Hall C, a cold metal chamber filled with cages, hologram collars, and guards. Ethan immediately wants to leave, until he hears a voice. "Please buy us, human." He turns and freezes. Inside a damaged containment cell kneel 3 alien warriors, once feared across the galaxies. Their armor is broken. Their bodies are bruised. Their eyes glow with desperate hope. Their leader, Kael'Ryn, once a commander of a famous warrior order, looks straight at him. She is tall, strong, and carries herself like a lioness even while chained. She repeats softly, "Please, buy us, before they sell us to the mines." Ethan is confused. Why ask him? He tries to walk away. But Kael'Ryn slams her chained hands against the bars and says, "You are the only human here. Humans are the only ones the Brotherhood will not attack. Buy us and we will serve you, protect you, work for you." Ethan doesn't want slaves. He doesn't want trouble. But the guards begin to approach with electric batons. One laughs. "Don't waste time on them, human. They're broken. Worthless." Kael'Ryn flinches, but she does not lower her head. Something inside Ethan snaps. He hates bullies. He hates cruelty. And these warriors, even beaten, they have dignity. The auctioneer declares, "Welcome to my channel Sci-Fi Love Story. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe." Varec Station was loud, crowded, and always full of trouble. Ethan Hale, a simple cargo mechanic from Earth, only wanted to pick up spare parts and return to his ship. But one wrong turn changed everything. He walked through a dim hallway, looking for exit gate 7, but the lights flickered and the air grew colder. He heard shouting and metal doors slamming somewhere ahead. Ethan frowned. This doesn't look like a repair zone. He pushed open a rusted side door and froze. He was standing inside Auction Hall C, one of the dark levels of Varec Station where captured aliens, workers, fighters, and criminals were traded like items. The air smelled of oil and fear. Cage doors hummed with blue light. A large crowd gathered around a platform where an auctioneer shouted numbers. Ethan's stomach twisted. He hated places like this. He turned to leave. That's when he heard it. Quiet voice. A voice filled with pain and hope. "Please buy us, human." Ethan stopped. He slowly turned and saw a damaged containment cell in the corner. Inside, 3 aliens were kneeling. They were tall, strong-looking beings with gray skin and glowing blue eyes. Their armor was cracked. Their bodies were bruised. Metal collars glowed around their necks. The one in front looked up at Ethan. She was clearly the leader. Broad shoulders, warrior posture, even when chained. Her voice shook. "Ooh, human. Please buy us." Ethan blinked. What? Why me?" The warrior gripped the bars with trembling hands. "Humans are neutral. Humans are ignored by the Brotherhood. If you buy us, they cannot kill us inside your contract." Ethan shook his head. "You're asking the wrong guy. I'm just a mechanic." The warrior's eyes softened. "Please. You are the only human here. The only one who will not be attacked for helping us." A guard walked by and slammed his baton on the cell. The 3 aliens flinched. "Stop begging, you broken war trash," the guard barked. Then he sneered at Ethan. "Don't waste your time, human. They're useless. No one will buy them." Anger flickered in Ethan's chest. He hated witnessing cruelty. These 3 aliens looked half dead, but they still carried themselves with dignity. And something about the warrior's voice. It didn't sound like begging. It sounded like someone holding on to the last thread of hope. The auctioneer's voice boomed. "Next, Lot 48. 3 former Valorian warriors. Once elite fighters. Now captured. Starting price very low." The crowd stayed silent. No one lifted a hand. Everyone knew the truth. Former warriors were dangerous. No one wanted them. If no one bought them, they would be shipped to the mines or killed. The leader whispered again. Human, do not leave us here. Ethan's jaw tightened. He stepped toward the platform. I'll take them, he said. The entire hall went silent. The auctioneer raised an eyebrow. You. Human mechanic. Ethan nodded. Digital papers flashed. Price updated, shockingly low. Ethan signed before he could change his mind. The collars on the aliens unlocked with a soft click. The three warriors collapsed in relief. For the first time, the leader looked like she might cry. But before Ethan could say anything, a loud alarm echoed through the hall. Warning. Valorian survivors detected. Possible retaliation force approaching. The floor vibrated. The walls shook. Customers began running. Guards grabbed their weapons. The warrior leader's eyes widened in fear. She struggled to her feet and grabbed Ethan's arm. Human, you must run. The Brotherhood is here. Who are they? Ethan asked. The warrior swallowed hard. Her voice was barely a whisper. The ones who destroyed our order and want us dead. The lights turned red. Smoke hissed from vents. A robotic voice announced. Enemy ship docking on lower ring. All personnel evacuate. Ethan had no idea what was happening, but he knew one thing. He couldn't leave these aliens behind now. Come on, he said. My ship is close. The warriors tried to stand, but their legs were weak. Ethan moved under the leader's arm to support her. The other two stumbled after them. The station shook again. A deep, metallic voice boomed across the speaker system. We know the last Valorians are here. Hand them over, and we will not destroy the station. Ethan muttered, Great. Perfect timing. They hurried through a hallway as explosions echoed behind them. They reached a maintenance lift, and Ethan smashed the emergency button. The doors shut just as armed soldiers appeared in the corridor. The warriors trembled. The leader whispered, Why did you help us, human? Ethan shrugged as he breathed hard. Because nobody else did. The lift dropped to level -3. The doors opened to a dark tunnel leading to the docking bays. Ethan guided them through. Suddenly, one of the warriors collapsed. Ethan knelt beside him. What's wrong? The leader touched the broken collar. The collars. They suppress our life energy. Removing them too fast injures us. Ethan sighed. Of course it does. He helped the injured warrior onto his back. The third one leaned on the wall, walking slowly. They finally reached Ethan's small ship, a worn-out cargo hauler named Rust Skipper. Not impressive but reliable. Get inside, he said. The warriors limped in, breathing heavily. Ethan jumped into the pilot seat and started the engines. That's when the station's outer doors opened. A massive shadow appeared outside. A huge black warship with red lights glowing like a demon's eyes. The warrior leader's face filled with dread. That is the Brotherhood's flagship. Ethan felt his heart drop. You're kidding. A tractor beam shot out from the warship, locking onto Ethan's small ship. The Rust Skipper rattled violently. The leader grabbed Ethan's shoulder. Human, leave us. Cut the back hatch. Save yourself. Ethan shook his head. Not happening. You don't understand, she whispered. They will kill you too. You bought us. And that makes you our ally. The tractor beam pulled them closer and closer to the warship. Ethan gripped the controls tightly. The Rust Skipper shook violently as the Brotherhood's tractor beam dragged it toward the massive warship. Sparks burst from the control panels. Warning lights flashed everywhere. Ethan Hale held the controls tightly, refusing to let go. The three Valorian warriors, Kael'Ryn, Vero, and Tully, struggled to stay on their feet as the ship tilted. Kael'Ryn gritted her teeth. Human. You cannot fight a Brotherhood flagship. No small ship ever escapes. Ethan didn't look away from the controls. Then it's a good time for a miracle. The tractor beam pulled harder. Vero fell against the wall. We cannot go back to them. They will erase us. Tully whispered, trembling. They will erase him too. Kael'Ryn stared at Ethan, shock mixing with fear. He should have abandoned them. Any logical person would. But this human refused. Why? No one had ever risked anything for them, not even their own people. The escape attempt. The beam's pull grew stronger, shaking the ship like a toy. Ethan took a deep breath. All right, no more playing nice. He reached under the console and pulled out a hidden manual switch, something only a mechanic would think to install. Kael'Ryn frowned. What is that? Ethan smiled. A dumb idea. But dumb ideas sometimes work. He slammed the switch. The rust skipper shut down completely. The lights died. The engines went dark. The ship turned cold and silent. The Brotherhood tractor beam flickered. Kael'Ryn's eyes widened. You killed the power. Why? Ethan whispered. Tractor beams can lock onto energy sources. But if we... The ship suddenly dropped, falling out of the beam for 3 seconds. Look dead, they lose grip. 3 seconds isn't enough, Kael'Ryn began. Ethan hit the main ignition. The engines roared back to life. And Ethan dove the ship downward, right under the flagship. Alarms wailed inside the rust skipper. The warriors fell against the walls again. Kael'Ryn shouted, Are you trying to kill us? Ethan laughed breathlessly. Trying not to. The Brotherhood ships fired plasma shots, missing them by meters. Ethan twisted the controls. The ship spun between chunks of debris and cargo floating in the station's orbit. Tali stared at him with wide eyes. Humans are insane, Kael'Ryn whispered, gripping the seat. No, this one is brave. But the flagship launched fast interceptors. And they were closing in. The Nebula. Ethan checked the navigation. There's a nebula field nearby. Thick storms. They won't be able to track us inside. Kael'Ryn shook her head. The storms can destroy small ships. Ethan shrugged. Better chance than getting captured. Without waiting for agreement, he aimed the ship toward a swirling purple and blue cloud. The interceptors chased them, firing beams. One hit the side of the rust skipper. The ship shuddered violently. Shields at 10%. Ethan yelled. The warriors braced themselves. The ship entered the nebula. Lightning arcs and glowing particles surrounded them. The storms roared like living creatures. Vero covered his head. This place is death. Ethan grinned. Only if you fly straight. He zigzagged through the lightning currents. The storms confused the enemy sensors. One interceptor spun out and exploded against a glowing rock. Kael'Ryn watched the human pilot with disbelief. Ethan Hale. You do not fight like a mechanic. Ethan smirked. Nobody respects mechanics until something breaks. The truth about the warriors. Finally, the nebula grew calmer. The rust skipper drifted into a dark pocket of space inside the storm. The 3 warriors collapsed onto the floor, exhausted. Ethan checked the scanners. Looks like they lost us for now. Kael'Ryn finally stood up. She removed the last pieces of her broken armor. Ethan noticed the deep scars on her back from the collars. He tried not to stare. Kael'Ryn noticed anyway. She spoke softly. Human, you saved us, but you still do not know who we are. Ethan blinked. You're warriors. That much is clear. Vero shook his head. Not just warriors. Tali added. We were guardians. Protectors of worlds. Kael'Ryn took a deep breath. I am Kael'Ryn, heir of the Valorian order. Ethan froze. Wait, heir. Like royalty. Kael'Ryn nodded. The Brotherhood destroyed our order. They feared the return of Valorian power. We were betrayed during peace talks. Captured. Tortured. Sold. Her voice cracked for the first time. We begged you to buy us. Because humans are neutral in galactic politics. Under human protection. We had a chance to live. Ethan rubbed the back of his neck. I had no idea. Kael'Ryn gave a small, tired smile. And yet, you helped us anyway. Tali looked at Ethan with genuine respect. Vero bowed slightly. You saved the last of our people. The Brotherhood returns. Suddenly the scanners beeped. Ethan stared at the screen. No. Kael'Ryn rushed forward. What is it? The Brotherhood. They're entering the Nebula. They tracked our energy trail. The warriors tensed. Vero grabbed a broken spear. Tali steadied herself with the wall. Kael'Ryn stepped closer to Ethan. Human. If you run now, we will not blame you. Ethan turned to her. I didn't risk my life to abandon you halfway. Kael'Ryn's chest tightened. You would fight beside us, even knowing who hunts us. Ethan lifted his old maintenance wrench, now his only weapon. Yeah, let's make them regret coming after us. Kael'Ryn felt something strange in her chest. Respect, gratitude, maybe even pride. Very well, she said. Then we fight together. The final battle. The Brotherhood boarding pods slammed into the Rust skipper's hull. Metal screeched. The doors burst open. Dark armored soldiers stormed inside. Kael'Ryn roared and charged with surprising strength. Vero blocked blasts with his broken spear. Tali used swift strikes despite her injuries. Ethan joined them, using traps he set earlier. Compressed air vents knocked soldiers off their feet. Shock cables electrified the floor. Heavy crates fell from above. A loose pipe became a swinging weapon. The warriors stared in amazement. This human fought like a warrior of their own order. Kael'Ryn battled the Brotherhood captain, a giant in heavy armor. He slammed her to the ground. The captain raised his axe. Ethan saw it. He sprinted across the room and smashed his wrench into the captain's armor, planting a small explosive pack. The captain turned. Ethan whispered, "Bad day, huh?" The explosion sent the captain flying. Kael'Ryn leapt up and struck the final blow. The remaining Brotherhood soldiers retreated, dragging the injured captain back into their pods. The pods detached. The storm swallowed them. After the battle, the Rust skipper went silent. Smoke drifted from broken wires. The lights flickered. Kael'Ryn slowly approached Ethan. She placed her hand on his shoulder. Gentle, grateful. Ethan Hale, you saved us. Not as a buyer. Not as a master. But as a warrior. Ethan sat down exhausted. I'm not a warrior. Kael'Ryn shook her head. You fought for people you barely knew. That makes you more than a warrior. Vero and Tali knelt before him. Kael'Ryn spoke softly. From this day, you are under the protection of the Valorian order. Where you walk, we walk. Ethan laughed weakly. I only came here for spare parts. Kael'Ryn smiled for the first time. And instead, you bought us freedom. Fade out.